All you got to do is hit a button. And then just here we are.
Ta-da.
We're everywhere and in one place all at once. Pretty crazy. Oh, we need to turn up the super chat slider because I know we're going to need to use it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Welcome to the Thursday night live stream Q&A session. As always, live streams are ad-free.
Why does that look like that?
Because it prioritizes channels.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of auto mix when two people are talking at the same time.
Never noticed it. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Continue, please.
Yeah, so all of our live streams are ad-free. So that means that we'll turn the ads on after the live stream. So in order to support the channel and keep us rolling, you are welcome to use Super Chats to ask questions. We'll drop what we're doing and answer those right away. You can ask questions just with a bunch of question marks in front of there. You can go to patreon.com/DylanTalksTone and you can support that or the little join button down there. We do some kind of cool things. You can also use all the links in the description, even not guitar related stuff. Like there's other stuff like Cloud Ray Laser. How about that?
Super chat from Dastardly Dave. Thanks for the super chat, Dave. He said ad free is for me. I feel like there should be a rhyme to go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it does rhyme, but
and if you don't want to spend any money, you can just like and subscribe and share the video.
what's in the thumbnail? Because people are like, that purple on purple is so killer. It would work on so many colors. That purple, swing.
It's the purple double humbucker pick guard that I built the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about modding guitars, and I just kind of want to get y'all's input on that. The other thing is go to Dylan Talks Tone, buy pickups, buy loaded pick guards, buy custom stuff, buy one-off stuff. Tomorrow's video is going to be very cool because it's going to give you kind of an insight into what we've been up to, and I'm going to show you some stuff that has actually not been on this channel. If you're on Patreon, you've probably seen it, but I've not actually done any, hey, check this out, this is actually what we use this laser for videos. And so that's what we're going to do.
Dog Dr. Tim came up with a whole nother name. He said, hello to all the lovely Dylan and Leslie'ites.
Oh no.
Does that mean we're like
no, that's too culty. I don't want to go down that far. So let's here's what I want to know from all of you. What motivates you? Like what is the thing that says,
Did you say motivates?
What motivates you, hey, I'm gonna do a modification to my guitar. I just don't like how this microphone stands. Sorry, everybody. We're gonna make a bunch of noise.
Noisy? Can't
Yeah.
you turn it off?
That's all right. It's fine. When do you decide I'm gonna mod a guitar? That's my question for all of you tonight. And then we've got some Patreon questions.
I'm doing this all wrong. Okay. One moment, please.
Why? What'd you do?
You're gonna hate me. I pushed the button, but I didn't push the button, and then I realized I left another button up.
Oh.
Super chat from 3J Music. Thank you for the super chat. He said, ad free is for me. Buy Dylan pickups for your telly.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We've got some really cool telly pickups on the website in the vault right now. It's really good stuff. Yeah, I'm curious to know, obviously if you have a failure, like a pot failure or a switch failure or something, you're going to switch it out. But are you actually just going to replace the part? Are you going to look for something to upgrade? Are you going to upgrade your pickups?
Super chat from Van Shank Guitars. Thank you for the super chat. Ivan, he said, Dave made me do it ad free.
Thank you.
Like one run on sentence. He
That's
made him
awesome.
do it ad free.
Is that like on the Discovery Channel, but ad free?
Yeah.
Yeah, must be. That gives me an idea for a t-shirt. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just curious about this because we did this whole thing about, kind of in the podcast the other day, and it kind of kept me thinking, like, what is the thing that tips you over that says, oh, I'm going to buy new pickups. I'm going to buy a new thing for my guitar, And like I said, is it going to be a replacement? Is it going to be an upgrade? Is it a tonal thing? Is it I just want to try stuff? That's why I do it. Like, I just want to try stuff. Is it because you want to learn to do the stuff, like buy cheap guitars on purpose and build them? Curious. I'm just curious about that as we continue to talk about this stuff tonight.
Super chat from Jim Woodard. Thank you for the super chat, Jim. He said, ad free. Don't forget the like button.
That's right. Thank you, Jim. So with that, let's get into the Patreon questions.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to this because people will be commenting and making it all confusing for you.
Yes. All right. We got Jim again. I find that people are always looking for the next best thing to improve their tone, but it seems they usually work backward. The key to great tone is the right amp and cab, or in some cases, modeler, profiler, and what's IR mean?
Impulse response. Yep.
The rest is mostly seasoning to bring it to perfection. A great guitar is feel and inspiration, as that is the thing that is held closest to our bodies and with which we form a physical connection. But the cornerstone of sound is the voice box of the rig, and that's where the actual sound is amplified and projected.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have some thoughts on that. I'm gonna get that super chat first, and then I'll expound on this because I really like what you said. I don't 100%. I mean, I agree with everything you said, but I think it's maybe there's more to it. So yeah, we'll chat about it.
Super chat from Vinny's World. Thank you for the super chat, Vinny. He said, good evening, Dylan and Leslie. Really loving the creativity and seeing you guys develop new products. Will you consider doing other pickguard parts, offset, etc.? Gotta run. We'll catch the replay.
Yes, to all those questions. Yes. We'll get into that here in a little bit. And we talk about that a little bit in tomorrow's video. And so, Vinny, if you catch it's on Patreon already. For those of you that don't know, I'm trying to do my best to put all of the videos ad-free on Patreon. So, for $5 a month or whatever, you can be ad-free on the channel over there. So,
all right, back to Jim's
Getting
question.
back to Jim. So he's right about the amp thing. I think I don't necessarily, if your guitar doesn't sound good, the amp won't make it sound good. Like, although you can have a really cool amp and it'll make a bad guitar sound better. So I guess it's sort of true, but the main components have to be there still. A good setup, good pickups, and a good amp, right? And to me, that's it. Everything else, like he said, is contributing factors to all of that, which is really cool to think about. And I like the idea that the guitar is something that you build a relationship with and that you practice with and that you really get to be familiar with. I think, and this is going to sound stupid to say, but too many people worry about the tone of the guitar itself. I think, it's only about the tone, so I don't need a Les Paul because, all the Jaga guys. So I just feel like I don't agree with that at all. I think that if you're comfortable with the guitar, if you like the guitar, if you really enjoy it, then, if you like the color, if you like all those things matter, because then you'll really start to enjoy the guitar and enjoy the sound that's coming out of it and be able to isolate when something you don't like is happening. That being said, the amp thing that Jim talked about is really important. That's why I am consistent about my amps, so that when I make other changes, I have that consistency to fall back on. And I think that's really important. Yeah, for sure.
Next up, Zoltan. Hey, Leslie and Dylan. Could the new laser engrave things like trim plates,
Yes.
modern saddles,
Yes.
tuner buttons,
Yes.
or even headstock faces?
Yes.
And what about fretboards?
So headstock faces and fretboards are wood most of the time. And so we would do that on our other laser, on our big laser. So the CO2 laser is going to handle organic materials better. Although, yeah, I haven't really liked the product that I've gotten out of wood stuff on the fiber laser. And maybe that'll come with time, but from everything that I've been testing, I really like the CO2 laser for that, the big one, which would make more sense for doing fretboards and stuff anyway, because the work area of a fiber laser is a lot smaller. It's only like 5 inches. So you just use them for different purposes.
Anyway, he asked all those questions because he said that would be next level custom shop.
Oh, just you wait. We have all kinds of stuff coming. Yeah, for sure.
Rob F. Hello, Leslie and Dylan. Are you still using Bourne's pots with any of your products? Since you first turned me on to them, I've become a big fan of their taper compared to CTS pots.
I like them, but customers don't. I know you like them, but on the whole, if you say, and this is one of those things where I have bent to this, I like Bourne's pots better. I think they are easier to use. I think they're easier to solder into the guitar. Everything about them. The nickel plating on the eyelets, everything is better, in my opinion. However, there is a thing that people think that CTS pots are the best, and they will not buy Bourne's pots. So I give them what they want. I don't agree. I like Bourne's pots, but CTS is the hotness.
Super chat from Sun Base. Thank you for the super chat. They said ad free. I replaced all strap buttons with Goto RB30 tall bass string retainers. Better than locking strap buttons. Other than that, only when the guitar doesn't do what I want it to.
Talk about upgrading. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Cool. I dig that.
And okay.
More Patreon.
Up, we have Matt. Good evening, Team DTT. I was thinking about completely rewiring my PRS 2408SE. It has one tone, one volume, and 2 mini toggles acting as coil splits. Any ideas for making something more unique if I put in push-pull pots and use the toggles for something else? Debating if I should invest money into it, as they also need better humbuckers too, though I would definitely enjoy the project that it would entail. Thanks.
I mean, I think that's a guitar worth upgrading. Those are really good. You know, the basis of that instrument is really good. What could you do with because
A Klondike? Oh, that's what would.
to tell you the honest truth, I would leave the coil splits on those mini switches. They're kind of more reliable than push pulls. So, I mean, definitely more reliable than push pushes. So, yeah. Set of center
Joshua.
punches in there. That's what you need.
Joshua said, if you were to do a single strap pickguard, P90 bridge, and Strat neck, which of your Strat pickups would you choose to match the P90?
Either a Hot 5 or a Bonneville. But I would go with the Hot 5.
Shane. Hey, Dylan. Why in a 9 to 42 string set do we get an 11 gauge B string and a 16 gauge G string? Would it balance better and keep better tune if those were 12 and 15 respectively?
I don't know the answer to that because I don't know string science. Scott would be the guy to talk to about that. Scott from String Joy. And I know that those are not set in stone numbers either, because I know there are some other string companies that do different string gauges. Tuning stability, I don't necessarily think has anything to do with I know it doesn't have anything to do with the gauge of the string. Obviously, I mean, as long as you know how to play it, right? So if you get lighter strings, it doesn't necessarily mean the guitar is going to go out of tune, but you are going to pull it out of tune. So the chances are, if you have tuning stability problems with light strings, there's a couple of things that could happen. One is you had heavier strings on your guitar, you put lighter strings on it, and now the nut is in a weird state because the grooves are too wide, or, that sort of thing. The other thing is you could have, if you have a tremolo, then you could have introduced some tuning instability there. And also, your guitar setup could have changed depending on how, going from 10s to 9s won't typically change a whole lot, but it depends on your tuning, and also depends on how good it was set up before. But once all that stuff's in place, tuning stability should not be a problem just because you put lighter strings on the guitar. If that's the case and the guitar is set up properly, it's you, it's not the guitar. You're bending it out of tune.
Random Guitar just told us what Stringjoy thinks. They said using a 12 and a 15 for the B and G is exactly what Stringjoy does in their 9 to 42 sets. I buy them rather often.
Yeah, so I couldn't remember for sure, but I do know that he calls them his balance tension sets, and I knew that, but I didn't know that.
The number.
Yeah, I didn't want to speak and be wrong about it, but yes, I know for sure on their 10s, they're all different, right? It's a 10 to 46 set, and the G and the B are different. So I was pretty sure that was the same on the 9s, but yeah. Yeah, thank you for that input, because again, I couldn't remember.
Another one from Shane. All the alliteration. Good morning, lumbering Leslie.
Ding.
And digital Dylan.
That sounds
Paul Bunyan-y? I don't even know.
I don't know.
What is
lumbering?
Like, is that a word? Like a verb? Like a
it's like big and slow. That's what I think.
That's rude.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Having a left ESP Eclipse arrived today, so of course I felt a little bummed out when you trashed them as being fake Les Pauls on the Tuesday live stream. LOL. Anyway, during that live stream, you said you're not a fan of the Les Paul 2-volume, 2-tone wiring. Could you elaborate on why?
Yeah. So I've never really been a Les Paul person. Like, this is my first Les Paul, and this, my slash Les Paul is the one I have. So it's just not
in a slow, heavy, awkward way.
That's what I was. Yeah. I was thinking motorhome when.
That's funny.
Yeah. What do they call it in the manual of arms, right? So it's like I'm a Fender guy mostly from birth. So, Telecasters and Stratocasters and single volume, single tone, or even the double tone on the Strat, but it's kind of irrelevant for these purposes. It's the 2 volumes thing that gets to me. So even on my Texas Toast Challenger, that has 2 volumes in 1 tone, and you've seen me mess up with that in videos because I just forget, right? It's just a different manual of arms, and I just don't use it enough to be comfortable. And so it's not that I don't like it. It's just I've been a Fender guy forever. And so I guess it's just new. I just need to spend some more time with it. As far as the ESP Eclipse deal, my meaning with that. There are many people who will do this whole just as good as thing with anything but a Les Paul, and it's just wrong. But a Eclipse is actually a really, really good guitar. It ain't no Les Paul, but it's a very good guitar. But it shouldn't be it's a different guitar, right? It's like you use it differently. It's a completely different kind of application. I think. It's a different market. So yeah. No, it's a cool guitar.
Shane said he wanted to say lovely Leslie, but I said I didn't like that.
Oh. It's probably better than
Fair.
lumbering though.
I don't know. Sometimes I can be slow. I don't know that I'm ever awkward.
You're not slow though. And you're not awkward at all.
No, I don't think I'm awkward. All right, that was the end of that Patreon list.
Yeah, let's go back to the modding questions over there.
Yeah, there's like all kind of things happening.
This is fun. I'm ready.
I feel like I didn't set up things right, so I can't see well. Okay.
Got it.
Yep. I'm just going to go in order.
Yeah.
Some of it's related, some of it's not.
Let's do it.
Charlie Gabaldon said, I just ordered a set of your humbucker pickups in gold.
I saw that.
What's gold? Like gold hardware?
Gold covers.
Covers.
Mm-hmm. Not very many people order gold. It's really kind of funny. I actually shipped a gold one today.
And it wasn't his?
And it wasn't his. It was somebody else's, yeah.
Random Guitar said, howdy, y'all. I paused watching Shawshank Redemption to join in the DTT gang.
Thanks. That is a good movie, though. I mean, it was a good movie.
It probably still is. Charlie Gabaldon said, I guess this is related to when he upgrades. He said, when my bank balance says I can.
Ha! So that means you're always kind of looking for something cool to do.
Dog Dr. Tim said, when I realized that said guitar does not have your pickups in it.
Good answer.
It's not a trick question, though, y'all.
No, it is not.
Off. There it goes. Timothy Ziegler said, when it's on the drawing board.
Oh, interesting.
Early in the process. Random Guitar said, I like buying cheap guitars just to mod them just because I love to tinker.
See, I think that's cool. You learn a lot when you do that.
Windsurf Maui. I feel like I haven't seen that person in a while. To make the guitar feel and play better.
Feel and play.
I don't know what this comment's about. I'm just going to read it. Stu Crombie said, I love your channel, but the hate to the British taxes, I don't understand. Starbucks pays no taxes or little in the UK. It's all tax dodgying. I don't know if that's a word. So I showed you a way to avoid it. Maybe y'all talked about something.
Oh, well, it's because of that too. We have a $200 minimum going to the UK. And honestly, I probably don't have to do that anymore, but it makes it to where I don't have to, it simplifies everything. And I like simple. And honestly, 2 pickups is $200. It's not that hard.
Joe Healy said, why just fix something, upgrade it, and make it better?
That's what I think too.
Matthew Altamere said, I'm a tinkerer and love tinkering. Random Guitar said, I recently bought a guitar to mod. I've finished most of the cosmetic mods. Now I'm pondering what I want to do with the electronics, if anything.
I wonder what kind of guitar it is. Get back in there and tell us what it is. We'll give you some ideas.
Robbie F says, I have 3 Squires and an Epi. Original costs range from $199 to $620. I upgraded to your pickups for better sound. I upgraded hardware, tuning machines, etc. for improved playing experience. Kenneth Crickmore says, was given a partially stripper import Strat that had the bridge, but not the 5-way switch it needed. So just that gets the upgrade.
Oh, interesting.
Random Guitar then said, I guess related to what we were just talking about. So let me ask, what humbuckers have you got that are good for rock, hard rock, in a semi-hollow guitar that also split well?
Center punch. The end. That's what you get. Get the center punches, put them in there. Put coil splits on them. They won't volume drop real bad. And there's a bunch of other people in the comments who use them and will tell you they're stinking awesome. That anytime you're going to coil split something, that's what I would get. And in a humbucker situation, it's going to give you kind of an Angus Young-y sort of hard rock kind of deal, but they clean up really well too. And then in the neck position, and then when you split them, they don't volume drop a lot and they get really nice, clean, super nice, clean. No, I think you'd dig them.
I also don't know what this is about. Timothy Ziegler said, example, the program man, I don't know, 5-way switch with the app. It was cool for 3 to 4 weeks and now it's in the landfill. Sorry, I don't remember its name.
Oh, the
programmable,
that Seymour Duncan thing. I've got one on the shelf in there. I haven't put it in anything.
Apparently they're not any good. Robbie
I thought it was awesome, but it was $150.
Thanks, Dylan. Can you help me order the right kind of Borns? I have trouble interpreting the spec sheets to choose the correct model pot for guitar application.
Yeah, it's just get the, I think it's 10 or 15 percent tolerance, 3/8 inch bushing, and 500K or 250K pot. And that should be it. I think I want to say that the part number is WDA24 or WA24 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but there's a 24 in it at the end. I think it's WDA24 or WA24. Let me look that up while we're going.
Jim Woodard said, yeah, people always say they want something different until you give it to them. Then they go, no, I want the old stuff.
Oh, I know, for sure. It's funny because like we're doing all this really neat stuff that I think is really neat and people say it's really neat. And then you're like, I know somebody's going to buy this and then they don't. Most people, I mean, most of this stuff is selling out super quick, but there's some stuff that I thought would be going really fast and nobody wants it. The loaded pick guards I thought would go quicker, like the cool ones.
It doesn't mean nobody wants it. Maybe they just couldn't get it yet.
Yeah, maybe that could be true too.
Doc Siltonen said Borns are way better to solder to, but I have trouble finding Borns in 250K sometimes.
Maybe I should just start carrying them because I like them too, but
sounds like people need to know where to get them.
I know. Well,
maybe they can get them from you.
Yeah, I guess they need to get them from me because I will do it. I'm looking it up right now to make sure I get you the right brand.
Mike Seedorf said, good evening, Leslie and Dylan, everyone else who is here watching from Michigan. He's watching from Michigan.
PDA 24.
Public displays of affection. 24.
Yep. 15% tolerance. That's the other thing. CTS pots have a lower tolerance. They're 10%. At least the ones I buy. Yes. And then PDB 24, depending on, so oh no, that's the long shaft. Let's see. Yeah. PDA 24. That's it. But if you want me to start carrying them, I'll start carrying them. I don't mind. But it's just one of those things I stocked them and we never sold pots. And then as soon as I started stocking CTS, they started flying off the shelves. We ship them every day, just about.
Back to Mike Seedorf. Good evening, Leslie and Dylan. Everyone else who is here watching from Michigan. I changed all my pots to CTS and my speakers in my Black Star amps. I put WGS speakers out of Kentucky.
I like WGS speakers, warehouse guitar speakers. I I used to play Fuchs, and he used WGS, and I really liked them.
Sailing Ravenwing. I own several semi-hollows. My favorite mod is a master volume on the lower horn with treble bleed, like Gretsch.
Wow, that's interesting because that is the least used thing ever on a guitar, I think. That's very interesting that you really like that. That's cool.
Hawkman Hawk says, I like upgrading just to do it, so I can feel remorse later on, like when putting a Kaler on a Les Paul, LOL.
That's funny.
Philip Iacone, I don't know if I said that right. Philip says, hey guys, I have a few Epiphone Hawaiian guitar pickups that don't have a bobbin. The coils are nothing but layers of copper wire interspersed between layers of tape. How did they wind?
Yeah, it's called an air coil, and then they put a magnet in between it. Basically, it's they do it a couple of different ways. I've seen it done where the tape, the coil, and then the paper, then the coil, then the paper, then the coil, then the paper. That's basically how they do it to keep it structured. And there's usually like a core that then gets like dropped out of there. And then you put the magnet in the middle. It's super old school. There's some old Japanese guitars that do it that way. There's some Hagstroms that do it that way. Some super old DeArmond stuff with like paper bobbins that do it that way. Remember that DeArmond I had to do, and I used like a file folder for a bobbin. Like I cut it up and, you know, yeah. Because that's basically what it was. It was like, think like tan file folder stuff. And I had to cut it all to shape and like basically fashion like a core that you could wrap the wire around and then like pinch the core and pull it out and then fit it down over the it was a pain. But I got it done, but yeah, it was wild.
Charlie Gabaldon said, Dylan, do you make a wiring harness for an Ibanez Sheraton 2 Pro?
We do not.
That's very specific.
We do not. We do sell the supplies to build yours. So you can buy the braided wire, the pots, the switch, the caps, all that stuff to do it, but I don't wire that. The only pre-wired stuff we do is Telecaster and Strat. And that's the only reason is because I would really, in order to grow into those other things, we would have to spend so much more time, and we just don't have the time.
Hugo Welty, what are your thoughts on lightweight tuners? Do you think PRS is on to something with their new tuners?
I don't think it matters. You're going to hear a bunch of, I don't know, people who nerd about the wrong things talk about how it's going to change, blah, 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 peg head weight, resonance, bro. Who cares? Who cares? I'll tell you how I shop for tuners. Whatever the guitar weighs or wherever the weight is, I'm going to buy tuners that are not going to throw the balance of the guitar off. So I usually get lightweight tuners because I don't want heavy ones. No tonal reason, just I don't want the weight. So
what are your thoughts?
Don't worry about it.
You seem to like lightweight tuners.
I do like lightweight tuners, but I think it's not for the same reasons that
it's being marketed
dorky
for.
People in forums are going to say. You know, like the more friends you have, the less you're going to care about it. And the less friends you have, the more you're going to care about it. I think that's what
I should care about it a lot then.
Yeah. Well, I suppose me too, because I only have you. That's it, pretty much.
Just lumber around the house.
Just lumbering around. Wow.
Jose Daniel Zamora P says, I just noticed I'm currently using earlier seasons Dylan's rig with a Vox MV50 and a Keeley delay workstation. Sounds great to me.
You know, that's really cool. I have a Keeley delay workstation that I loaned to a friend of mine, and I never got it back. I used it once. It was so cool. And I loaned it to my friend Jason, and he never gave it back to me. I'm sure I could get it. He lives a mile from me, but whatever.
Doc Silton has said, usually once the guitar is done, I leave it as completed, unless it's one of my pickup testing guitars.
I'm getting more and more that way, where I like to have the ones that are done for references. And then, of course, I'm in a little different space because of what I do, but I also have I have that Somnium guitar that I can test in, which is, pretty handy to have, even though I don't use it.
It's not like you said insomnium.
That much. Yeah.
Insomnia guitar. Let me just sketch up really quick.
Yeah, and if you
All
have
right.
other guitar questions, just go ahead and throw them in there with a bunch of question marks in front of it so she can find them, or use a super chat.
Rob F said, I got a used Squire CV50's Telly for $300.
Ooh.
Just did shielding, 4-way control plate, and Goto comp brass saddles. Loving it. Just taking a break and caught you on.
That's really cool. That's a great guitar. That's a really great guitar. That, to me, that Classic Vibe series of stuff is a fantastic balance between really cheap guitar, because it's not, well appointed, and the hardware is not terrible, so that when you put some pickups in it, put some wiring in it and stuff, it makes it a fun guitar. Yeah, that's really cool. Those are good.
Dog Dr. Tim, your center punch pickups punch way above their weight. I love mine. They split beautifully.
Thank you.
Mr. Goat said he has gold covers on his list.
Oh, cool.
Jose Daniel Zamora P said, do you sell push-pull pots as well? I can't find them on the website.
No, I will add some. I will add some more.
Doc Silton said, my favorite, and he spelled it like he's British English. My favorite and most common mod is a blender pot modification to the Bridgetone pot on a Strat. I know you're not really a fan, but I really find it adds to the palette.
That's interesting. I don't really goof around with all that alternative wiring stuff. I have the only guitar I have with a bunch of weirdness in it is my Fiore. And the only thing I really use in that guitar of all the weird stuff is I use the neck and bridge pickup on it at the same time. I really like that. But other than that, I don't use that stuff. I should put that guitar in here. I have not played that in a while.
Mike Seedorf said, question, what is the difference on the EVH pots opposed to CTS or other brands?
That stuff is just rebranded CTS, I think. There's a bunch of that stuff out there. Emerson pots, all they are is just rebranded. They're just rebranded. Gibson pots, rebranded CTS. And what can happen, for example, is, we could just put pots in the laser and make Dylan pots.
Them?
Yeah.
Make Dylan pot? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said, but that's funny. And basically what Emerson does is they have them made to a spec, but basically they just pick out the bad ones. Tolerance wise. It's not that big a deal. Everybody thinks they're so special.
Is there an easy way to test that in bulk?
Yeah, you have to pay somebody to sit there and with a meter.
So no,
not really.
It's manual.
I have friends that work at amp companies and stuff, and they have somebody sitting there doing it, and they have a box of them that they put on eBay that are outside of spec.
That's
Mm-hmm.
So don't buy them on eBay.
Yeah, I would not buy pots on eBay, especially if it's not like
From a normal, reputable company.
Yes.
Don't buy pots
yeah,
from
because
them.
it's probably a box of stuff they're not
Their
using.
leftovers.
Mm-hmm. With a
Rejects.
guitar, it doesn't really matter. Like if a pot is 20% out of spec instead of 15, it doesn't really matter because, and I know that people will argue this, but think about this for just a second. If you have a Les Paul, all 4 pots are doing different jobs. So the frequencies that you're cutting from the tone pot on the bridge position are different frequencies than what you're cutting from the neck position. The voltage and frequencies that you're playing with on the neck pickup are different because of the position on the volume than they are to the bridge to the neck also. So you really don't have any pot doing an identical job on any guitar. So if they're a little out of spec, it doesn't matter. The only thing I would say is if you're going to put a guitar together and you have a pile of pots, then I would say check them all with a meter and use the 2 closest ones for volume and then the 2 other closest ones for tones. And then that'll give you at least as much consistency as possible. But again, all 4 pots on a Les Paul are doing completely different jobs in completely different frequency ranges, completely different tones. So to say that they have to all match is kind of a farce.
Hugo Welty said EVH are Borns.
Oh, okay.
And then he
I didn't know
said,
that.
but they're supposedly either low friction for the volume or high friction for the tone.
Okay, so all the stuff we sell is low friction. And on the tone, the way they're doing that is it a no load? Because if it's a no load, then it's high friction for sure. But the low friction stuff is not special. Those PDA 24s are all low friction. That's not special. I should just buy a bunch of Borns pots and freaking laser my name on the bottom and call them ultra tones or some crap.
You can't get that pronunciation by reading it, though.
Oh, but I can make a video.
It's so fun.
Ultra tone. And then I can make a t-shirt.
Bonus points if you know where that's from.
And we could put him on it.
That would be probably not okay. Better draw your own version of that.
Yeah. Yeah. If y'all know what I'm talking about, I'll be surprised, but we'll see. Ultra tone.
Resonant said, I think he's having a conversation in the chat, but should I buy a Jackson JS22 guitar? I am somewhat concerned about the angled headstock and tuning issues. The neck also comes with a scarf joint, which could be a point of failure.
All of those things you are overthinking. Buy the guitar and play it. Scarf joints are fine. People have been doing it. There are literally hundreds of thousands of guitars out there with scarf joints and their necks are not flying off. Buy the guitar and play it. Tuning stability because of a swept-back peg head. Fender's the one that did this wrong, not everybody else. Okay? Fender with the straight peg head was so that he could be cheap about how he made necks, so that he could have them straight. A tilt-back peg head is the way to go. It is better. It is not worse. Fender's the one that got that wrong. Hot take.
Super chat from Charles Wallace. Thank you for the super chat, Charles. He said, thank you for sharing your evening with us.
Thanks, Charles.
Random Guitar said, I can't click the button. Random Guitar said, just click. Let me start over. Random Guitar said, just checked out your website. It looks like the center punched match set is the same price regardless of whether the pickups have black open coils or nickel covers. Is that correct?
That is correct. The only ones we charge extra for are any of the And I know why he's asking that. He thinks that plain ones should be cheaper. No. The answer is no. That's it.
Why wouldn't you wait? Are the nickel things attached to them?
Yeah.
Oh, because they get dipped.
And they're expensive.
They get dipped.
And honestly, uncovered pickups are more of a pain than covered ones. Because of how we do them, how they're built, it takes me longer, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stu Crombie said, I don't really get the hand wound thing. Aren't they all hand wound?
Nope. Nope, they are not. Nope. In fact, very few pickups in 2024 are hand wound. They're all made on machines, on CNC machines. I mean, we have a CNC machine. I don't use it for everything, but yeah, I mean, everything is made on machines.
Charlie Gabaldon wants a parts list for something. Like, I don't think this is the place to ask for a list to be sent to you.
For what?
Maybe do a chat or something.
For what?
I don't know, a list of parts I need to. Can you send me a list?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you need. So get on the
I mean, you don't know how to reach him either.
Oh, I know what he's asking about. He's asking about the oh, I can tell you that.
You do know.
He's asking about his Sheridan or whatever. So if you want to rewire your Sheridan, what you need is a short frame 3-way switch. So take note of this. You need a short frame 3-way switch. We sell pure tone jacks and switchcraft jacks. Choose your poison there. You will need 2 16-inch lengths of braided wire, which we sell. You will need 4 500K pots. You will need 2 33 caps. And that's probably it. So rewind this and listen to that a bunch of times and you'll get it. Or you can send me a message on the chat on the website and I'll just put it all in a cart for you.
Doc Siltonen said SBC pots, Sustain Bros certified pots for absolute maximum sustain, bro.
Well, so honestly, I have always wanted to do a thing because Matt and I have joked about this, about smartphone speaker certified.
Nice.
Because everybody listens to all this crap on their phone and is like,
Yeah.
This doesn't sound good, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever, dude. You're listening to it on an iPhone. So like smartphone speaker certified. I've always wanted to do something about that, but I haven't. But the Sustain Brothers thing is a great idea because I really want that to stick. The Sustain Brothers thing, I mean, we're coming out with a coaster set. We're coming out with, I mean, we got a whole bunch of Sustain Brothers stuff. So we have a t-shirt, we have a hat. I would love that to be the thing. It's got a lumberjack. He's like not a lumberjack, but he's got like
Is he lumbering?
He's not lumbering. He's got a big hammer. And that was the whole thing. Because it says on the t-shirt, it says something about tap tested, blah, blah, blah. And then on the hat, it says purveyors of sustain since 2013 or whatever. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. Kenneth Crickmore says the quad rail / coil humbuckers in my Stellar caster build have 3 very strong ceramic magnets between the 4 rails and / coils. Split, they sound like single coils with almost no volume drop.
Yeah, those are neat. So we have 4 magnets on our rails. Our Quattros are 4 magnets, 4 ceramic magnets.
Random Guitar said, I don't think the plain coil should be cheaper. I was thinking the nickel would have been more.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. The only ones that are more are the custom ones, like a lot of our acrylics and a lot of our crazy ones like in the pickup vault. And then I also do charge more for gold because gold is substantially more, even though it's not actually gold.
Doc Siltonen said, Dylan certified pots, the best pots in the world.
In the world.
In Clarkson voice.
In the world.
everybody here know who Clarkson is. Let's see.
There's a whole bunch of
Stu
country.
Crombie said, do the robots solder the pickups?
No, usually.
That's not wound.
Usually a person solders. Yeah.
It could be hand wound or computer wound and person soldered.
Correct. Yeah.
We'll use whatever marketing plea.
When we use our CNC winder, the CNC winder does it for some stuff. It winds this thing, and then I still have like another hour and a half worth of work to do after that. So yeah, it's still more handmade than, and that's the way it is in big factories too. So they'll take the bobbins off the machine, and then somebody will have to solder the little wires on the end, and they'll have to assemble them. Assembling a humbucker takes way longer than winding it. Actually, assembling any pickup afterwards takes way longer than winding it.
I'm all caught up, and we have 9 minutes to go.
All of the steps to make a pickup, winding is the fastest part. So, because if you figure, like the math is very easy to do, right? So if you wind at 1,000 RPM and you have a 10,000 wind pickup, like a P90, it takes 10 minutes to wind it, right? I don't actually wind at 1,000. I wind faster than that, but it takes 10 minutes to do it. Well, the work that you have to do besides that, you have to press the eyelets into the bobbin before you wind it. Then you have to wind it, and then you have to magnetize the magnets, and then you have to assemble the thing, and then you have to wax pot the thing. So it takes, in assembling a P90, soldering the lead wires into a plastic bobbin without melting it, the risk involved in that. Ask anybody who's taken one of my P90 pickup winding workshops knows that mostly I won't even let them do it, because you'll get that far. And then even I make so many of them, and I bet once every 3 weeks or so,
you melt something.
I melt something and have to throw it away and start over. Cause it's just, you're a human being. You just make mistakes, You just be sitting there soldering, and then all of a sudden the eyelet goes bloop, and it just falls in. You're like, well, there's that. That's junk. Not to mention, I think I mentioned this last week, pickup wire went up 20% this month.
Yeah, you mentioned it last
This
week.
month it went up 20%.
Doc Silton agrees that humbuckers suck to make.
Yep.
Jose Daniel Zamora P. Do the new Cerakote people have given an estimate for delivery?
Yeah, I'm actually going to call them in the morning. I'm hoping to go pick that stuff up tomorrow. Yep.
I don't know who Mike Rowe is. Dog Dr. Tim's throwing in a suggestion too. Mike Rowe voice. If you don't have Dylan Talk's tone, you don't have tone.
Mike Rowe is the Dirty Jobs guy.
Oh.
Isn't he?
I don't know.
I think he's the Dirty Jobs guy.
Dun, dun, dun. We still have minutes to go. You don't have anything else to talk about?
I mean, I can tell him about a bunch of stuff we got going. So
do it.
So for those of you that don't know, I bought us a fiber laser, so now we can do metal and stuff. So if you follow us on Instagram or follow us on Patreon, you'll see all that. We did a bunch of testing this week, and I came up with a bunch of really cool stuff. So you're going to just see more and more cool stuff coming out of here. We are releasing a video tomorrow that is, I don't remember what I called it. Like, I'm tired of making boring pickups or so. I don't know, let's call it something. But the whole idea basically is that we're spending a lot of time doing a lot of custom stuff and really learning these machines and really being able to do stuff that you can't get anywhere else. A lot of the stuff that we're doing, honestly, I've never even seen it. I've already had pickup builders that I know, like other people that I know who own pickup companies, like, hey, how are you doing that? Like, what material is that? Like, people are definitely taking
They're
notice. So
noticing.
yeah, it's kind of cool. So if you want to not have a guitar that looks like everybody else's,
We know a guy.
yeah, it's really cool. Custom pickups, custom pick guards, custom scratch plate, custom control plates. Somebody, I think Vinny asked earlier, we're gonna, you'll see in tomorrow's video, I etched a tele control plate, the tele cover on the pickup, and the knobs all match. It's so sick. And then we will be able to do, or we already can do, we could do a tele bridge too, like the ashtray. All kinds of fun stuff. If you're on Patreon, you'll see Scott Harrington's Les Paul special. He ordered from me a pick guard, pickups, truss rod cover, switch, like control cavity covers, and a whole bunch of all of the plastics on the guitar in that purple swirl.
Nice.
Yeah. And so we cut all that, and he posted it on Patreon. It looks amazing. So fun.
Super chat from Doc Siltonen. He said, I think it's so fantastic that you offer custom branding for other builders. You're the only one who would do that for the community.
Yeah, I want to do more of it.
He's been there. That's why.
Yeah, I want to do more of it because I've wanted this stuff for me for so long. And I know that there's guys like Doc, like for example, he doesn't build 150 guitars a year. He might build, 20 or 15 or something. So it's not like he's, the minimum order quantities for this stuff are so high. The amount of money that I have to spend on inventory to even keep like my deals and stuff for where I get all my pots and all that, I got to spend a lot of money for that. And so it's taken over a decade to get to the point where we can do this. And so to help out, and I love this. This is something that we've done ever since the beginning of Dylan Talks Tone, is if somebody calls me up and says, I'm building 4 guitars and I need 4 custom pickups that are only for me. No problem, man. It might cost an extra few bucks, but I will do it. I'm willing to do it because I want to inspire everybody too. And I hope that that's what happens. I hope what I really would like to get to the point is, I will tell you that I'm stealing this entire idea from the knife community. So one of my favorite knife brands is Half Face Blades. And every Saturday at noon Pacific time, he drops a whole bunch of knives. That's the only way he sells. He doesn't even have they live on the website for the rest of the week. So, but he drops new knives every weekend. And sometimes, depending on what he's going to drop, and he kind of teases them throughout the week on Instagram. And by the time it comes, sometimes you have to be sitting there. Like if there's something I'm interested in, I will set my alarm on my watch or on my phone, and I will just be ready with it in the cart, like ready to go, because the stuff will sell out in 20 minutes. Same thing with, in fact, 1 minute from now, Montana Knife Company, they drop their stuff at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, so 9 o'clock our time, every Thursday night. And the stuff sells out in 20 minutes. So I'd like to get to that point where people are, and it's not the same thing every week. So like Half Face Blades, they might have, there's a knife that I want from them, but I haven't seen it in the color combination that I want. So I just kind of keep checking, and one of these weeks it's going to pop up, and it's going to be a week where I actually have the money to do it. Like that all has to come together too. And then I'll buy it. And so I keep checking it, I just keep checking it. And I hope we can get to that point where you'll buy your normal P90s any old day of the week. You'll buy your Strat pickups, whatever. But if there's something special you want, you just keep looking, and we will keep doing it. And I really hope it catches on because it's fun. It has brought the creativity of all of this stuff back up. I am so excited about it. Like I love doing it.
All right, 1 minute.
Okay.
Resident said Boss Katana MK2 50 watt versus Spark 40.
Those are two different use cases because the Boss Katana is not a practice amp per se. You can actually gig that and actually really enjoy it as an actual real amplifier. The Spark stuff to me is more of a practice amp. And don't get the 40, get the 50 because the 50 just came out and it's way better.
C Stone said, can that new laser cut glass?
No, I broke 2 of our glasses from our kitchen trying.
First I heard of that.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't care.
One got too hot and it cracked, and the other one...
Were you trying to etch it?
Yeah, and the butt of it was too heavy and it fell and broke. But the
I
biggest...
know what glasses you were using now.
Yeah, the tall, skinny ones.
Yeah.
But the thing is you have to spray the coating on it, and you have to use so much heat that I heated up the glass too much.
That's also really cheap glass.
It's true. It's true. I'm pretty sure. I know on the CO2 laser we can do it. In fact, I was just learning today how to. There is a...
But not cut. We're talking about etching.
Etching. There's a curve compensation I can put into the software, and we can actually do it on our CO2 laser.
Sweet.
Even though it's flat. Yeah.
Sweet.
No, I've been learning because I want to do glass.
All right. It's 9:01.
That means it's off topic hour. So here's how this works. For all of you who are familiar, you know that you can ask any question you want after 9 o'clock, as long as it's not a guitar question. If you ask a guitar question after 9 o'clock, it has to be in a super chat. Otherwise, we will ignore it until next week.
No, we will not get to it next week. You have to come ask it again next
Yeah,
week.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is just a way to hang out, get to know you, be friends, build community. It's my favorite part of the YouTube week. There is one off-topic question over there.
See it.
So let's do that. This came from Patreon.
From Jay. Hey, Dylan, that floor is wicked cool. Who makes it, and was it hard to put in?
He is asking me about the floor in my garage. So I have race deck interlocking flooring in the garage. It is not cheap, but it is amazing. And it took us, you have to take everything out. All you have to do is take everything out of the garage and figure out which way you want to lay it and the pattern and all that. And I think it took maybe an hour and a half.
I'm so glad you listened to me on the little squares and not big squares. Or
Yes.
did we do big squares?
We did
big
big squares. You didn't want me to do little squares.
Yeah.
And I like them a lot. It's really cool because like even when dirt goes in it, you just vacuum it. So the floor is always clean. It's way better. I've had epoxy in my garages for 20 years. I love epoxied floors. And this was, well, I'll just tell you. So I have a 22 by 24 garage, and to epoxy that would run me $500 or $700, something like that. This cost me like 14.
And it was way faster. And we didn't have to wait on it to dry.
So that's the thing. I didn't have to go rent a sander. I didn't have to worry about, like, I look at the time savings and then the convenience of it now. And then if you ruin something, you just pop one out and put another one in, where with epoxy, if you have some peel up or if you have some hot tire pickup or if you have something like that, it's a big pain in the butt to fix it. What's wrong? Is he... Oh, make sure you didn't have to go out. Yeah, it's amazing. This stuff is really, really nice. I love it a lot. Yeah.
Evstathio says, so no real drink tonight. There's definitely real drink.
Oh, yeah. Gin and tonics tonight.
Jose Daniels and More Peace said, when is the Dylan pot coming?
You could take Jay's question down too if you want.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay.
Rob F wants to know, what is your back wall made of?
That wall back there is some kind of ABS plastic. It's you put adhesive on the wall first, and then you stick that to it. I got it off of Amazon. I think the whole wall with all the adhesive and everything cost me like, I don't know, $150, something like that. Super reasonable. I just wanted some visual. It's not like acoustic really. It does help, but on the lower part of the wall, like our wainscoting, like below the chair rail, is actually like foam. It looks like antique tin, but it's actually foam, and that really helps with the sound too, because we have 12-foot ceilings in here, so trying to calm the echo down is always a thing.
Super chat from Kyle Ketchamonia. He said, I mod all my guitars except for my Rickenbacker. It's perfect.
Yeah, and you can't really do a whole lot to those because there's not a lot of parts availability for those ones.
Earlier, Mr. Goat shared his off-topic thought. He said, I paid a guy to mow my lawn for the first time ever. I sure enjoyed that.
Dude, people like get bummed out about paying bills, but that is a bill that I love to pay. Because when it is 100 degrees and the humidity is bonkers and we have a half acre that is all grass, I am like, I do not regret.
And we have huge, we have big walkway up to the front door, driveway, and we're on a curb, and we have a lot of curb, and he edges all of it.
Oh yeah, so we have a half acre, but the house is set back, and we are on the inside of a corner. So yeah, it's like, I don't know how many feet it is.
It's long because I sprayed something the other, I was walking. I was like, good Lord, our yard is really long.
Yeah, that outside curb corner goes all the way, almost all the way around our whole house. It's weird that we like live on the inside of a circle almost. It's like,
oh, that's true. It goes back corner to back corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
it's large.
Our house is diagonally on the property, so we have a lot of curb. So yeah, he spends probably almost as much time doing the non-mowing stuff as he does doing the mowing stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Hawkman Hawk says he's going vintage, Dylan. Bought a new to me 2022 Tundra in army green. Figured it would tow camper better than a Tacoma.
Dude, that color is so cool. I love that color. I remember when it came out, I wanted to get a Sequoia in that color. We weren't buying anything like that then, but I was like, man, if I was going to buy one of these right now, I'd get a Sequoia in that color.
Stu Crombie says, off topic, I'm in England. I ate mushroom cream Lay's chips imported. I woke up seeing a massive rat creature eating out of my Mrs. Bin bag. I must be either sensitive to mushrooms. What do they put on them? I've never even heard of that. That's funny.
Where did you get those mushroom chips from?
Mushroom Lays? What?
Yeah. I guess we need Driddle to fill us in on the mushroom because he's a Lay's guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was like, why would he do that?
Yeah, he drives Lay's truck.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Kyle Ketchamonia says, do you guys like sushi? And Doc Silton said, they're both vegans. Do you guys like sushi? I mean, if we mean sushi and like hand-rolled vegetables in rice and seaweed, yes.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
maybe some tempura vegetable or some fried tofu or...
When I ate animals, I would go into a sushi restaurant and kill some raw fish.
I've never had that.
Really?
Never.
When I lived in Michigan, we we couldn't get good sushi there, because you're like, it's in the Midwest and it's, but there was this place in Hawaii of all places, and it was expensive. It was like $80 just for shipping, but they would next day air it on dry ice. So a couple times a year, we would get together, a bunch of friends. And it was one of those things, sort of like when I buy rats for the snakes, where it's like, if you
just fill up a box.
Yeah, you fill up a box. So
that's how my pickles came.
Oh, really?
Or I didn't buy pickles. The stuff from the pickle company.
The shipping is, it costs $80 to fill up this box.
Buy the box.
Yeah. And so we would get, 5 or 6 people together, and we would all chip in and we would all have sushi on the same night, and like next day it from Hawaii.
Let's see. So then they're talking about vegan sushi. So one place, and Doc goes to Denver a lot too, there is a 100% sushi place in Denver that I follow on Instagram. And for some reason, all the times we've been to Denver, I haven't been yet, but
we'll have to go.
It looks good. Curtis Shaw says iced tea or hot tea? Both, please.
Both, yeah. For different reasons.
Yeah, I like both. I have a lot of tea.
Yeah, we have a drawer full of.
Now it's a cabinet because it's not in a drawer technically.
Fancy teas and ways to make tea and all that. Yep.
I have a list still. I want more. I want a blooming one.
Oh, those are cool. Yeah, that's neat.
Then we can do a time lapse.
Do a time lapse of a blooming tea.
Yeah. Anyway, Jose Daniel Zamora P said, have you considered a snakeio, like a patio enclosure for your snakes? No. That sounds terrible. I don't even have a patio enclosure for myself. Why would I do it for my snakes?
We need to do something about that's the next big. This week was get a new front door. So that was the big house expenditure for the week, and it's really cool. I have a buddy that does custom doors. And so he came and did it, and it is a 150-pound slab of walnut. And
is that what it is? I didn't know.
Yep. It's
what the wood
Andean walnut, I think.
Did you say Andean or Indian?
Andean, from Andes. And I think it's it's in what's it called? It's a speakeasy door. So from the outside, it's got the bars on it with the little door that opens. And then on the inside, it's got like the little cast iron, like little latch thing and the little door. And it's functional.
Yeah.
So you can
have to know the password to come over.
Yep. Otherwise,
and we still won't let you.
Otherwise, we could stick a rifle at it. So, yeah.
Too
but
funny.
He had to build the entire thing. Like the door that was there and side lights were held in with just the trim. Nothing was screwed in. They had cut 1.5 inches off of the height of the door. So he had to like reframe. He pulled all the frame out, had to reframe everything. The whole reason we did it is because the door was rotted on the bottom, and it's only like 3 years old.
And we found it for a dumb reason, but
yeah. The door was too close to the floor. So every time you opened it, the sweep would rub on the rug, and it ripped the sweep off the bottom of the door. So I take the door off the hinges to like tack the sweep back onto the bottom. And I can't, there's nothing to tack it to. The door's all rotted out. I'm like, what the heck? Well, come to find out, because we have a brick, our house is made out of brick. There was no vapor barrier anywhere. It was all done incorrectly. And so it all was all rotted and crap. And so we just pulled it out, and now it's all fancy and cool. I have a handset coming for it on Saturday. We're going to do a cool lock and stuff, but so it's got a stainless lock and a black door now, but that'll get all changed out later this week.
Doc wanted to know the name of it. It wasn't, he said East Moon. No, that's not it. It's called Wellness Sushi. I just sent you a link.
Next is going to be shutters.
Miserable Turd said, don't eat the sushi with rolled seaweed or white rice. Get them to use shaved mango. I don't like mango.
No.
At all.
No.
I could eat sushi. I could eat
I could
seaweed
eat
and white
seaweed
rice
and-
every day.
Yeah. You do eat seaweed and white rice every day.
Not we. I do.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah. So today, because I bought furikake, so I don't have to just have seaweed pieces. But from this pickle company that's been blowing up my social media with ads, they got me. It wasn't pickles either. I got daikon radish kimchi and cucumber kimchi. So I had white rice with both of those kimchis and furikake this morning, and I could eat Japanese breakfast every day. It was amazing.
Really?
It was really
I
good.
want to try the cucumbers. I don't care about the radish, but
It was really good.
I want to try.
Everything's super crunchy.
Really?
Really crunchy. Charlie Gilbalden said, I'm getting sick and tired of my friends that cannot handle their drinking. They dropped me 6 times while bringing me in last night from the bar.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see.
We went to one of my buddies got married in Michigan last weekend. So we drove to Kalamazoo. On Friday we left. We drove 14 hours to Kalamazoo, went to the wedding on Saturday, and came home on Sunday. And on the way home, I went to Smoky Mountain Knife Works in Tennessee and bought me another Microtech. So Microtech Amphibian. And just before the live stream, I don't like Microtech's factory edges. I've never been a fan. They're usually like 30 degrees, and it's way too shallow for me. So I'm putting a 25 on it, but I didn't get to finish it. So I'll probably finish that tonight or tomorrow. Reprofile it to 25 degrees.
Kyle Ketchamonia said, do you guys listen to vinyls? I got into vinyls trying to collect. It rolled off. Trying to collect all my favorite punk and alternative albums. What's your favorite punk band? Mine, Dead Kennedys.
So
I feel like you have a lot in common with Kyle.
I know.
Where is he? Florida?
I don't remember.
We should meet him.
So I'm yeah, I like punk for sure. I would say on one end of it, like early Henry Rollins. I like the Bad Brains. I like Dead Kennedys. I like No Effects. I like, they're all over the place. There's random, I don't want to say random. That is a broad spectrum of what punk is, but I like all that stuff. As far as vinyl goes, at one point we had a really big vinyl collection, and a really nice, I had a Focal turntable, and I had all the, but when we were in the motorhome, I put most of it in storage. We have some of it back, but I don't have near the collection that I used to have. I find myself, I really like it, but I find myself not using analog stuff because I use headphones or earbuds most of the time anyway.
I think that thing's Bluetooth.
Yeah, it is. The one I got for Brianna is, yeah.
Well, that's the one.
That's the one in the living room, yeah. I don't know. I'm not stuck on it. Partially, it's like a self-control thing because otherwise I would go all in and get another.
Yeah, because we have really nice record shops here.
Yes. And I have really nice, I have Martin Logan speakers and it's not the highest end, but the receiver is really nice. And, but I love my Martin Logan speakers. I've had them for a long time. I don't have a sub right now though. I sold that. And that's something, but I don't use it like that anymore. So I have not spent that money, because that's a whole nother rabbit hole that I will totally go down, is the hi-fi side. And I'm kind of keeping myself from doing it.
Sean McMillan said Smoky Mountain Knife Works is such a cool store.
It is. I could be in there for a long time.
Yeah, we took a couple of young guys with us, so it was nice to let them see one of the Great Lakes, and we took them to the knife store. You know, just doing stuff they hadn't done.
Yep.
And you like the knife store, so
yep,
it was fun. Yep. Somebody posted on my Instagram. They were like, "So glad you got to the ocean." I was like, "That's not the ocean."
Not the ocean.
Doc said, ever had Lebanese style pickled turnip? Love it. I have not.
No.
I don't think we have any Lebanese food here. I actually didn't know. So a long time ago, I was, okay, vegetables from the store are not the same as fresh vegetables.
Right.
Period. There was, I miss it. There was a store downtown that did like a CSA vegetable box, and they had their own farm in North Augusta. So you just got a box, like whatever was in season, whatever that, like you didn't pick. But I didn't want to waste it because it wasn't cheap. And that was, and she would tell you like, you should try this, you should try this. And I didn't realize like you could that fresh turnips are different. The actual turnip, and you could just use them in place of potatoes. And it was really good. Like,
I did not know that.
It was fine. And it's healthier than a potato. I mean, it's still a root vegetable, so it makes sense. But the ones at the store, because I tried that, they don't taste the same. They don't taste the same. I don't know that I've ever had Lebanese food, actually. Kenneth Crickmore said, in Florida, the exterior doors must open out by code because hurricanes. I have a steel sheathed solid core front door. Kyle said I don't know if he's saying he's from or if he's in Canada. He's Cree.
I knew he was Cree, but I didn't know where he was.
Let's see. Steve Rezer said, did you take 75 to 69 on your way to Kalamazoo?
Yep.
Yes. Is he going to tell us we passed right by him or something?
A bunch of people told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a couple people knew the lighthouse we were at.
That's cool.
Yeah. Apparently right there in that town.
Yeah.
St. Joseph or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore, but there was an injection molding plant. And that's who made all the bobbins for Gibson.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess that makes sense.
Makes sense because it's only 30 minutes from where Gibson was.
Dog Dr. Tim said a French press does a dynamite job on tea. I've never used it for that. Wait, I don't think we have a French press right now.
We don't have one right now, no. That's interesting.
I don't know why you need to press it. I mean,
just to get basically it works like a filter because you just push it, then you just push the leaves.
Yeah, but I have the little loose infuser thing.
She has the little loose infuser thing that goes in the top of the little thing. And
to use loose tea.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I said that right.
Yeah.
Doc Silton said, ever been to the Air Zoo in Kalamazoo? No, we just learned about it, but it sounded like it was for children. So if it's cool, I'm sure we will be there again.
Yeah.
But I read about it and it sounded like it was for children.
We didn't really have time to do anything. It was like...
Sean said, did you stop at Sweetwater? No.
No.
We weren't on that side of the state though.
We drove right through Fort Wayne.
Oh, it's in Fort Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we didn't.
Nope. You were 5 minutes from me. I would have got y'all some coffees for the road, Steve Rezer.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's pretty cool. We probably went, I don't know what time we were there. We drove crazy hours.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, because we left here. Yeah.
And that was a weird little area, like
What?
cutting across, driving in cornfields.
Oh, my God.
It was like a horror
It's like
movie.
a horror movie. Yep. From Fort Wayne to...
No, to get to Fort Wayne to get back on 69.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird little...
From 75.
I don't remember doing that before, and I was like, it's dark and creepy out here. Like you're just going
The
down...
reason you don't remember it is because we didn't do it. Because before, we came from Ohio to Fort Wayne.
You mean the trip before? Another trip.
Yeah,
I mean, I was like, no, we did that
On
going
another
up.
trip, we went from Ohio, came over to Fort Wayne.
Because we were in, where's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Cleveland.
Yeah, and then we just came down the other side of the state.
Cleveland. Sorry.
Anyway, there's nothing wrong with small farm roads, but when the corn is like 9 feet
Higher than
high
your car.
on both
Yeah.
sides, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Whoops. Super chat from Stockdale's Guitar Explorer. Thank you for the super chat.
Thanks for the super chat, sir.
He said, towards a French press. Ha ha.
I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny because we have had them. And I guess that was one of the things when we lived in the motorhome, we just went down to a Chemex. But now I have a whole coffee bar. We have like a million different ways to make coffee except for a French press. So well, there you go.
I don't know how that happened.
I mean, $10, that's probably about halfway to one because you can get them at TJ Maxx for not super expensive. So thank you. Before next week, I guess I'll have to buy half a French press.
That noise is weird. Resonant said, I was vegetarian, not vegan, from 1997 to 2003 when I went back to eating meat. I still dislike fish.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know when I was vegetarian from maybe 94, 95 to 98. And then I ate meat for quite a few years. And then I haven't had it since 2007. So I ate it from like 98 to 2007 and then stopped again. So I was sick basically from 98 to 2007.
Yeah. I stopped eating meat in 2005. Never went back.
Kenneth Crickmore said the best air museum is the USAF Museum of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio.
Yes, and we have driven past that a bunch of times, and everybody tells me to go there, and I've not gotten a chance. It's been on situations where we just didn't have time to stop. And I really, really wanted to go this time, but we just didn't.
Yeah, it was a super last minute trip. And quick, because everybody had to work. Marcia Murray said, ever crave meat? Not crave. Sometimes I smell something, I'm like, because I've had it before. A lot of people are like, you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, I do. I've had it before. So sometimes something actually smells good. Most of the time it smells terrible.
Barbecue.
Sometimes something smells good. Is barbecue for you? I have zero desire to eat barbecue.
I want to say about 10 years ago, I tried to eat like...
It was longer than that. You weren't with me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It was probably before you. So it was probably...
I know it was. I wouldn't have let you eat barbecue.
Yeah, no. I mean, I tried like one half of one bite and I was sick for the... Yeah. Nope.
Mine goes into random spurts. Right now, if I was like, I'm going to go back to eating meat. Do you know what I would eat?
What, pepperoni?
Ew. No. Is that
Summer
yours?
sausage? I'm just
Ew.
kidding.
No. I mean, maybe not as...
Hot dogs with cheese in it?
You're naming stuff I've never eaten ever in my life.
The grossest stuff.
Chinese chicken wings.
Ugh. No.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's very specific.
That is very specific. Mm-mm.
It's so dumb.
I used to really
You can't fake that taste either.
I used to really miss pepperoni pizza, but pepperoni pizza has gotten some of the stuff they're using now is working pretty. Remember that pizza place we went to in where were we? We were on some trip just recently.
I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
We were in the car. We were in the Audi, so it wasn't in the van. What's the trip that we just took before this trip? Jacksonville. That pizza place.
Yes.
That was really good vegan pepperoni.
Oh, I didn't love that place. It was way too greasy.
Yes. The crust wasn't very good, and yes.
It was greasy.
But the toppings were, I thought were very good.
Well,
on my pizza.
I know, because you convinced me to get the pizza I got, and then you didn't eat it.
Yeah.
Your pizza was better than mine.
Yeah, yours wasn't as good.
Let's see. Dog Dr. Tim said, what is the clear difference between vegetarian and vegan? I'm a carnivore, but I love most all vegetables. It just depends on what you eat. Typically, vegetarians still eat dairy and eggs, and vegans typically do not eat anything that comes from an animal product at all, whether it's what do you call it? Safely, like milking a cow is not dangerous. Like what do you call that? Anyway, no dairy. Jim Woodard, have you been vegan a long time? Yes, he has. Do we eat eggs? No, do not eat eggs. F. Stathio said, is it the meat you miss in barbecue, the sauce, or the grilling process? You should be able to get barbecued veggies to get the edge off.
So anything smoky, it's the smoky part for me. So I don't really crave it that much because I have lots of ways to get the smoky flavor, like scotch.
Mr. Goat said, do you guys play cards or board games together?
No, she hates board games or anything. I have a group of guys that I play poker with or have started playing poker with recently, but we don't do board games. We are not the normal people who are like, well, it's winter time. I guess we should start playing cribbage every night. Like
I would do puzzles.
I mean, we have a table for it.
I like puzzles.
I don't know why we don't.
But that's also a very solitary, quiet thing.
And for me, a puzzle is not sit there for hours.
No.
For me, it's have it because that's the perfect place for it too.
Because you walk by.
Because you walk by it. If you have a minute where your brain is it's just sort of a cathartic thing to sit there and place one or two pieces and then walk on with the rest of your, Yeah. But we do not need to occupy every little time with stuff. We can be together in the same room and just sit there.
Hawkman Hawk says he could handle not eating meat as long as bacon was considered a vegetable. A lot of people say that. A lot of people, it's bacon or cheese.
Yeah.
I don't never give up cheese.
Yeah. Cheese.
I would, and we've talked about this. I would eat meat again. I will never have dairy again.
Same.
And I have no plans to eat meat. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to, like for my health, because that's why I'd stopped eating it.
Yeah, I will never eat dairy.
I will never eat dairy.
Ever.
Yeah, same.
Because
no.
It's not. Because it's not for people.
Right.
It's just not for people.
Curtis Chavez says, anyone ever make the mistake of eating salted plums? They're meant for mixing into rice, but I didn't know that and ate them straight. Yeah, that was probably terrible. Pickled plums. Yeah, those are terrible. I mean, I don't like them anyway. Miserable Turd said all women play games, not this one. Jim Woodard said, I love cribbage.
So my grandfather passed away many years ago now, like probably, I don't know. Shoot, we're still living in Michigan. So probably 25, 30 years ago now. But when I was a kid, when I was really young, he taught me to play cribbage, and I loved playing cribbage with him. I loved playing cribbage. And I had a couple different cribbage boards. And
you can play with the guys at the park. They play every morning.
They don't play cribbage. They play backgammon.
Oh, sorry. That's right.
They play backgammon.
Some old person game.
Some old guy game.
Mr. Goat said, I'd like to play poker with you someday.
You'd probably beat me. I'm out of practice right now. I need to get some more time. And I used to play all the time. My brother lived in Vegas for like 8 years, and he had a poker table in his dining. He didn't have a dining room table. He had a poker table. And he played all the time and was really serious. And then I started playing a lot when I lived in Arizona. And when I lived in Michigan, I played a lot when I lived in Michigan. But it's been 10 years since I played for any amount of time. So getting back into it lately. So, nope.
Lots of people don't like, Doc Silton said he plays cribbage. A lot of people are like, there's no way.
No way what?
I'm not eating vegetables. They all like meat.
Oh, yeah. So whatever.
Everybody does.
Yeah, sure. I got no problem with it. I just don't do it myself. What time is it? Oh,
Dog Dr. Tim said, why do my cheap Amazon $20 fountain pens that I bought to introduce my fellow team members to fountain pens write so well? That's funny.
Some of those are really good. You got a new fountain pen today. What is that thing? It's a Conklin something. I don't even.
Something Deco. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a Conklin Deco Arch something, but it's got like this aluminum filigree around like a clear. It's really cool. I'll do a video on it here in the next couple of days. It's really neat. It's really neat. And I have a Twisby coming in the next couple of days too. That green one with the black hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered a new Hobonichi planner for next year. So I have a 2025 planner ready to go, because being able to journal on days, like specific days. Yeah, there's bugs everywhere.
Yeah, we had a hole in the house like all day.
Yeah,
yesterday.
the door was knocked out for all day, so we're still chasing around flies and gnats and whatever. But yeah, having a hard copy planner I've enjoyed it a lot. Mostly for like video planning and stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I'll write it on the day that's the goal, that when I want to do it.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't see it until the day of. I'll be like, crap. I have to see things at a glance.
No, but the day I'm going to do it. Like, not the day maybe it's going to come out, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to see things at a glance, at a higher level, because I have a lot of things to do.
I have a lot of things to do, but not the same way you do. Your stuff is very date and time, and 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'm like, if I get this done before lunch, I'm good.
I'm running out of time. We just got the slide deck back, and it was like, you should change this. You should change this. And I was like, no, I never wanted to see the slide deck again.
Oh, for your speaking engagement?
Next week, yeah. The one.
It's next week?
The webinar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The webinar is next week.
Yep.
My LinkedIn is blowing up. That's been really weird.
Oh, because you got published on some all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Super weird.
Yep.
So I've already got messages. They're like, we're looking for speakers. I was like, no, I cannot take anything else on this year. Thanks. Ask me later. No.
Wait, does that mean we're going to go on a speaking tour?
No.
I mean, why not? You should write a book and then we can go on a book tour.
I have zero. Oh, I was thinking about this earlier. Not writing a book, but about people that write books. So I've been on LinkedIn a lot lately.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I go through spurts. It's blowing up is why I'm on it now, because I keep getting all these notifications. But these people that are connecting with me, they're all like award winning. Like all these people have all these awards. I'm like, did you just make this up? Like, what is this? Like, is there an award for like everything? And like, did you get an award at work, or like, is it a well-known? It was super weird. Like everybody was award-winning something, and I'm like, never heard of this. And then there's like a top 10 something on link. Like people are just like making like, I could be like, these are the top 10 best YouTubers, and then they could be like, I'm an award-winning YouTuber. No, you're not.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, it's been super weird just looking at people.
That's like smartphone certified pickups.
Yes. Anyway, all that to say, I should make up my own award so I can be an award-winning something.
I mean, didn't you win an Amazon card last year for something? You just put that on there, whatever that was.
That would be so funny because we call them like our Velvet Hammer Award. Yeah.
Yeah. I just know you won an Amazon card.
It's been like many years in a row too. Like
you have won it.
Streak. Well, they're all for different reasons.
Oh.
But
Well, there you go.
Award winning many years in a row. I even have certificates.
You do. I mean, there you go. Well, you can't count the Amazon card receipt as a certificate.
No, I have actual certificates.
That's like your trophy. Is your Amazon card?
No, I have an actual certificate.
Oh, okay.
So funny. Let's see. Sorry, we've just been talking and people have been trying to talk to us probably.
That's okay.
Resident said I had to stop eating soy products because it can cause hormonal imbalance in males. Find a better substitute. Yeah, that's probably false, but I don't know what's going on with your hormones. So.
Yeah.
Plant hormones are not the same as our hormones.
Myth. And Leo Fender was an engineer.
Susan Banta said, watch the paper on that planner. Some have not so friendly paper. This is specific. Yours is specific.
Yeah. Hobonichi is
what is that paper?
Tomoe River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jose Daniel Zamora P, do you have a special vet for the reptiles? Here, the specialists are so rare. It's like if it dies, it dies. So we have a breeder here that's really good.
Yeah.
For the snakes.
Two of my 3 snakes came from a local breeder that she'll let me call her and ask her questions.
But Brianna has a vet for the bearded dragon. So there is a reptile vet here. Because she takes them for checkups into, I don't know, do they have some kind of glandy thing too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've been on a long time.
Yeah.
Sean McMillan said, Leslie is on the internet. It must be true. Duh.
That's right. Leslie is on the internet, so she must be true.
Is she real?
She's real.
She's real busy. That's what she is. She's real tired right now.
Yeah, I'm about to call it.
Let's do it.
Thanks, you guys. Got a new video coming out tomorrow at 4. We will see ya.